This young man here is an incredible talent. Despite what Byron Saxton said about him in the past, the ladders are set, and so are we. Here we go.
Cole, I can very easily see any one of these 4 participants winning this thing.
An amateur wrestling standout with almost 2 decades of in-ring experience. It's going to be tough to stop Shelton Benjamin.
And no matter what color his hair is that day, Shelton Benjamin truly is the gold standard.
Go! No! What a lariat! Oh, took his head off.
Okay. And now, look at this. Not an ideal position.
This might be it. Oh, my. Oh, and the ladder finds the mark.
Gonna be tough to bounce back from that one.
He doesn't want to do this outside the ring. Whoa, the ladder hits.
Jeez, that's gotta hurt.
Whoa.
Jeez, that's gotta hurt.
Boom, what impact.
He's taking some offense. The fatal 4-way environment might just be too much for him to handle. You never want to count a competitor out, but things don't seem to be going in his favor here tonight.
The fatal 4-way match works like this. 4 superstars are in the ring all at once. There are no countouts and no disqualifications. You have 4 superstars who are throwing down in the ring all at the same time, and they can fight anywhere they want to. It's mass hysteria.
What a slam.
Impactful. Will jar your spine.
He's starting to feel it here. I don't think he expected to be in this position here.
Don't worry, Cole. It's going to take a lot more than this to keep him from climbing that ladder and winning this match.
Corey, you talked about the ground rules of a fatal 4-way match. One thing to keep in mind is that depending on the stipulation, there could be eliminations in the match, meaning that once a superstar is pinned, taps out, is counted out, or is disqualified, they are eliminated from the match. But the battle wages on.
And a stipulation can change the entire complexion of a match. As one may think, a fatal 4-way can see an interesting breakdown of temporary allies. No countouts and no disqualifications means anything can happen, and it can happen anywhere. Since there are no disqualifications in a fatal 4-way match, a superstar has to be aware of the fact that if they're in an elimination fatal 4-way match, someone who was eliminated can come back for retribution, and it's all legal. So you can eliminate an opponent, and they can interfere in the match later, and there's nothing anyone can do about it.
Watch out here. What's he going to do with it? Oh, here we go. Byron, you touched on something earlier that's worth repeating. If you're a superstar competing in a fatal 4-way elimination match and the competitor is eliminated, they can look to settle a score and affect the outcome of the match later. That's always a possibility in a fatal 4-way match because of the no disqualification stipulation.
Michael, that's what I like to call an occupational hazard. We saw an example of that in 2016 during the fatal 4-way elimination match to determine the #1 contender for the WWE Championship. The Miz was eliminated from the match, but let's say he had a major influence on the outcome of the contest. Just ask Dean Ambrose.
Many times in a Fatal 4-Way match, we've seen superstars join forces for the moment in taking out a dominant entity. This could be someone like Big Show, The Undertaker, Kane, and Nia Jax as examples. When a superstar has that type of power and can be that dominant, competitors will put their differences aside in hopes of eliminating that force from the match.
Byron, you made an excellent point a few moments ago. There have been many times throughout history where superstars have joined forces in a fatal 4-way match in hopes of eliminating by pinning or incapacitating that dominant force. Sometimes interesting alliances are formed. We saw that at the 33rd WrestleMania during the Raw Women's Championship match.
We sure did, Michael. Nia Jax dominated Charlotte Flair, Bayley, and the Boss Sasha Banks in the early going. While they recovered out on the floor, they realized for that moment they were stronger together. The decorated champions eliminated Jax after a triple powerbomb that saw all three superstars assist in the pinfall. Titus O'Neil first turned heads as a rookie on the second season of NXT, and it didn't take long for WWE superstars to realize why Titus is known as the real deal.
Ladder finds the mark.
Gonna be tough to bounce back from that one.
Making the climb here, guys.
Oh! I don't know, guys. Look at this.
Corey, you brought up Titus O'Neil's introduction to WWE. When Titus joined forces with Darren Young, they were known as the Primetime Players. In addition to being worth millions of dollars, they became WWE Tag Team Champions.
The Primetime Players were a top team in WWE, but Titus reached a point where he wanted to focus on himself to build his own following. And that's when Titus created the Titus brand.
You gotta believe this one's over. And gentlemen, Shelton Benjamin may be fading away here.
I wouldn't be surprised if he just passes out right here. Some of the shine is coming off the gold standard at this point.
I bet you're proud of yourself for that one, aren't you, Byron?
Actually, I am. He's heading for higher ground.
To get away from you. He can win it here, guys.
I don't believe it.
Just grab it.
One good pull wins this thing.
Bang!
Oh!
He's bringing it back inside the ring now.
He's looking to get up that ladder, guys.
Beautiful technique.
Wow, I'm just as surprised as you guys are.
And the odds just swung in Kyle O'Reilly's favor.
Well, it wasn't literally fatal, but it was pretty close. Take a look.
Here is your winner, Titus O'Neil.
Big victory for him here in this one.
What a huge man! The 4 men in the ring are set. One of the most chaotic contests a superstar can compete in is a fatal 4-way. Anything can happen, and the match can be over in an instant. Slam! What a stomp! Good grief!
Enziguri!
Oh, the dreaded claw to the shoulder! Man!
Nasty impact.
Harsh impact.
Right up against his face.
Come on.
They get dangerous out here, especially when there are no countouts. Oh, clothesline! He's bringing it back inside the ring now. Set it in its place here. Oh, man, what a strike. Nailed it. He's not looking like himself here.
Oh, man.
It'll be interesting to see how he responds here in this 4-way environment.
With so much on the line here in this ladder match, he has no choice but to find a way to overcome this attack, guys.
This is all part of the process, guys. He knew he would take on some offense here tonight. He just has to make sure he keeps it to a minimum.
Oh, and the ladder finds the mark.
Gonna be tough to bounce back from that one.
He's looking to align that ladder up perfectly. Placement is crucial.
No luck against Dunn there.
Too quick. Oh, and the ladder finds the mark.
Gonna be tough to bounce back from that one.
Here we go, right in the center of the ring.
A perfect place to set up that ladder.
It's always a joy to see a competitor make a triumphant return to action, but Daniel Bryan's return in 2018 after 2 years brought unparalleled joy to the WWE Universe. Perhaps trying to get a quick victory here.
Not a bad strategy.
Hey, when you have the opening, why not go for it? You gotta wonder what he's thinking here, guys.
I don't know if he is thinking.
Michael brought up Daniel Bryan's 2018 return, which to me recalled Shawn Michaels' return back from a back injury. He always stayed tied to the product as SmackDown Live general manager, and once medical advancements allowed, he came back.
And the outpouring of delight from the WWE Universe was matched really only by the delight of the WWE superstars, which is ironic because now so many of them are in danger of catching this running knee or feeling the yes slip.
I'd say every superstar remembers their first match on Raw, but for Pete Dunne, Byron, his first match has a little extra special meaning as it took place in his home country of England.
Well, not only that, Michael, but Pete Dunne also walked away from that match with a decisive victory over the WWE Cruiserweight Champion at the time. Pretty impressive, if you ask me.
He doesn't want to do this outside the ring.
We already established that Pete Dunne was successful in his first Raw match, but to me, the biggest takeaway from that was that the 23-year-old didn't exhibit an ounce of nervousness in front of a sellout crowd of nearly 15,000 in his home country on a big show like Monday Night Raw.
That's because Dunne oozes confidence. He was dominant that night because he knows it's just a matter of time before he'll be back on Raw. And in the main event, most likely. Ooh, what impact.
We might have a winner here.
Success is within reach.
Trust me when I tell you, this one is over, Michael.
Here is your winner, Pete Dunne.
That's a win you remember for a long Wow, I can't believe what